Hi everyone, I'm Doug Oster from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Welcome to Digging with Doug. Today we're at Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. We're going to look at the best plants for winter interest, and it's the perfect day to do it because it's in the middle of winter. Let's go talk to Claire Dusak. She's the outdoor display foreman. Claire, thanks so much for having us. That's winter interest.
Yes.
And what is this?
This is llex verticillata, or winterberry. It's a very small version of it. The cultivars are Red Sprite and Jim Dandy. With these, you always have to have a male and a female so that you'll get all these beautiful berries.
Easy to grow?
Very easy to grow. It does require some maintenance as far as keeping it pruned and making it want to produce those berries again. So you have to keep the soil at the right pH, but seriously, it's not a big fussy plant.
What do you want to look at next?
Well, I'm thinking that the boxwood over here makes a great green screen that's a little different than your regular yew.
And I see some footprints out here.
Yes, yes. This is definitely, I can see something's eating on these shrubs. Something's having a good time. Slim pickings for the critters this winter.
And so here we have, again, a large mass of
boxwood.
Right.
And this is Winter Gem. And we also have a winter green variety or cultivar in the Discovery Garden. But as you can see, it maintains its greenness, which most things in the Pittsburgh area have dropped their leaves. So there's at least that nice texture to it. Makes a good barrier.
How about pruning?
I just do the top just real lightly. But there are
just give it a haircut.
Yes, but you could form it. It makes a great topiary. You can do a lot of things with the boxwood. So
cold yet?
Getting there.
Right. What's next?
Let's go to the Discovery Garden. I got lots of things to show you.
Well, here we've got lots of fruit. You know, grapes growing up here, which is pretty. And then in the front?
Raspberries. So there's still little bits of the seed pods left off of them. As I said before, the birds love this garden, so they're having a feast this year. Yeah,
talk a little bit about that, because normally we'd see lots of berries in here.
We designed this garden with the thought of butterfly, bee, and bird-happy plants, and the birds found that out. So they got the message.
All right, let's go. What's next?
Well, you've got all different varieties of plants. This is a buddleia that still has last year's blooms stuck on it. The roses have hips still on them.
What is it about the garden in winter that makes it an interesting place to visit?
Oh, it's so placid, it's so serene. Yeah, it brings back memories of your childhood when you were outside playing and your nose was so cold. And
especially this winter.
Yeah, well, it's just like when we were kids again, not that long ago. The grasses make a great statement. As you can see, we have several different types of ornamental grasses, and they stand stately. And
so you don't cut yours down until the spring?
Correct. Correct.
Same thing here. I love to see them in the winter.
Right. You really need to get out there no later than the last part of March to do the cleanup on ornamental grasses, so that you're not blunting the ends and they're going to make a correct recovery.
Now, what if you're one of these gardeners that doesn't get to cutting them back in the spring?
Well, then you have to, whenever you can get to it. That's what that's what the philosophy is.
All right, let's keep looking. Anything back here?
Here we got this Pinus, bungeana. It's got beautiful bark on it, isn't that?
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that gardeners can look at, is a tree that has some type of flaking bark, or in this case, you know, this kind of colorful bark.
Right. And sometimes in the summertime, I'll just hose that off just to make those colors pop. It's really pretty. But let me show you another tree that's got the similar effects. This is a Stewardia, my favorite tree of all time.
That is a beauty.
Beauty. And this has 3 seasons of interest. In the summertime, it has a nice bloom on it that looks like fried eggs. And then it's got this wonderful barking on it. And then in the fall, it has great color.
Tell me about the flowers on this one.
Oh, they're great. The seed pods are an interesting thing too, but they're a white flower with a yellow center, so one of my volunteers said it looked like fried eggs.
It must be nice though to come out here when it's quiet and there's really nobody walking around.
Yeah. The whole reason to be a gardener is just that you can commune with Mother Nature and not have to worry about the mundaneness of everyday life, so it's great. One of the other things I wanted to point out to you is the witch hazel, and this is palmatum. And it's going to bloom in February. So it'll be great to come out here with little yellow flowers out here. And then behind it is Cornus moss. And it also blooms in early March with yellow flowers.
Well, here's a good example. Let's talk a little bit about pruning on something like this that's going to bloom in February. When do you prune something like this?
Well, this you would prune it after it blooms.
Right after it blooms,
Yeah.
because it would be putting buds on right away. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a mistake that I think first-time gardeners make a lot, where they're not careful about when they prune it. And you could, if you prune this too late, you're pruning all the flowers off it.
Right, but it's only for one season that you'd be doing
Right.
that. So if you're not religiously doing a prune on it every year, then sometimes it's worth the sacrifice. Right.
And to see something bloom in February,
That's a great thing. It is.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait.
I can't stand this winter. I've had enough. I lived in Texas and I got spoiled, so I just don't really appreciate the cold anymore.
So tell me about this plant again.
Cornus moss. Sometimes you can find it as a single stem tree, but mostly it's a multi-stem tree. It's a dogwood. Cornelian cherry is another name for it. So it gets a great fruit on it. And my little Italian visitors that come around here, they love to get that fruit because it reminds them of home. And they, one gentleman in particular would collect a whole bowl just to take home to his wife. He just thought that was the best thing.
And then actually right next to that on the arbor there is a beautiful climbing hydrangea.
Yep.
Which,
it's got some character too.
Oh, it does have some character. Any idea how old that is? Because that's a beauty.
This garden is 10 years plus. And that was put in, I'd say it was a 2-year-old plant. So we're looking at the maximum that's 15 years old. We have one other hydrangea around the corner. That's the oak leaf hydrangea, just to show the character it would have.
Well, here's the oak leaf hydrangea, huh?
Right. So you can still see some parts of its leaves. But
and flowers.
look at those flowers.
That's awesome.
They make a good dried flower, too. All types of hydrangeas do. But this has an interesting effect of the peeling bark. And then just the character of it. It's got lots to say.
Beautiful. This is fun being out here in the winter. I like this.
It's a nice garden, isn't it?
It is.
Here's some spot that's really a nice winter effect place. Our bonsai curator, Kevin, he does a wonderful job on keeping this whole area looking like it's immaculate always, and like everything is a growing bonsai. See how the structure of all the plants are visible, the tiering, the openness. It really is a lovely place.
Look at the red color on this Japanese maple. That's amazing.
Yeah. Even the little azaleas, just sitting there all closed up, waiting to open up in the spring. So there's always magic in this garden.
Tell me about this place at night.
Oh, with a full moon over it, and you're just sitting quietly listening to the brook run. It's really a placid place. Really a nice place.
Okay, one more thing to see?
Yeah, something interesting to show you.
Well, what do we have here outside the tropical forest?
Yeah, this is Fargesia. This is Americans' substitute for bamboo. This will not run into the woods and take over the whole planet in a short year. So it gives you that bamboo effect. It might not have that height, but look at it in the wintertime.
It looks great.
Isn't it a neat little thing?
Claire, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
taking us around on a cold day. It's absolutely great.
Oh, well, it's nice to share something with another gardener.
Let's go back up to the Japanese garden. I want to go back in there.
We'll go in the warm way.
All right. You know, the winter garden really is a special place. We can see the bones of the garden in winter, and we should be able to enjoy the garden during this season. Remember, if you've got questions about what we did today, or just general gardening questions, log on to www.post-gazette.com/homes and click on the gardening forum button. You can also see my blog and other videos at the Post-Gazette's members only site called PG+. Now, it's time to get inside and get warm. What did you say to me when you first saw me today?
You're the only man I'd come out in this whole for.
Now that's a testament to a true gardener, right?